not just tired? What if the problem is not a lack of sleep? What if your brain is still working long after your body has stopped? Many people go to bed tired. They wake up tired and immediately assume they need more sleep. But sometimes the issue is not sleep itself. Sometimes it is the environment surrounding you every day. Your home. The place where you are supposed to recover. The place where your nervous system is supposed to slow down. Yet for many people, that never fully happens. Imagine arriving home after a long day. You sit on the sofa. The television is playing. Your phone continues buzzing. Bright lights remain on. Multiple screens glow in the background. The room feels busy, even though you are trying to relax. And this is more common than most people realize. Because the nervous system is always responding to the environment. Not only to major stress, but also to small signals. Light, sound, movement, visual stimulation, digital activity. All of it matters. Individually, these signals seem harmless. Together, they create a steady stream of information the brain continues processing. And slowly, recovery becomes more difficult. One common example is lighting. Many homes remain brightly illuminated well into the evening. Ceiling lights, lamps, screens. The brain naturally interprets light as information. And information influences alertness. This is often where relaxation begins to compete with stimulation. Another example is visual clutter. A room does not need to be messy to feel mentally busy. Books, decorations, papers, open storage, visible items everywhere. The brain continues scanning the environment even when you are not actively paying attention. At this point, a pattern starts to emerge. Most people are not dealing with one source of stimulation. They are dealing with several at the same time. And the effects begin to overlap. Noise can have a similar effect. Televisions, appliances, fans, traffic outside. Even low levels of background sound keep the nervous system engaged. The brain continues monitoring the environment, even during periods of rest. What makes this difficult to recognize is that the adjustment happens gradually. Most people do not notice the environment changing. They simply notice themselves feeling more tired, distracted, or mentally depleted over time. And then there is digital stimulation. Phones, tablets, televisions. Multiple screens competing for attention throughout the evening. The workday may be over, but the flow of information often continues. And eventually, the nervous system struggles to fully settle and recover. This does not mean your home is unhealthy. It simply means your environment may be providing fewer opportunities for recovery than you realize. Many people notice this when they travel. A hotel room, a cabin, a quiet guest room. They often feel calmer. Not because those places are perfect, but because they reduce stimulation. Less noise, less clutter, less information competing for attention. And that difference often feels larger than expected. The good news is that improvement does not require major changes. Sometimes small adjustments create surprisingly noticeable changes. Softer evening lighting, less visual clutter, reduced background noise, more intentional screen-free time. Small environmental changes can help create a space that supports recovery rather than constant stimulation. Because sometimes feeling tired is not a sleep problem. Sometimes it is an environment problem. And when the environment is constantly asking your brain to pay attention, recovery becomes harder than it should be. The surprising part is that most people never notice it happening until they make a change and suddenly realize how much calmer a space can feel. Because wellness begins at home. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.